Should you get the Insta360 X3 or the GoPro Max? Well, you clicked on the right video because that's exactly what we're gonna be figuring out. Stick around. I'm gonna be going over my 5 main pillars of a 360 camera to help you decide if you should get the Insta360 X3 or the GoPro Max. So if you don't know how a 360 camera works, it basically has a over 180 degree lens over here and an over 180 degree lens over here, and then you go in and reframe. So with that brief description of how a 360 camera works, let's jump into the first point about these two cameras. And that's looking at their size, form factor, portability, and all of that. And I think the Insta360 X3 is going to get the win here. Not only does it have a bigger, more responsive touchscreen, but it's a little bit easier to hold, slip into a bag, and it just feels a little bit better in the hand compared to GoPro's more boxy camera, more like landscape boxy camera. There's nothing wrong with this, but I just think that the Insta360 X3 is probably better. So the second thing is, what do these cameras look like when they're not in 360 mode? And that means like when you're only using one lens to record something, kind of like a standard GoPro. And I think here the Max does 1080 and the Insta360 does 4K. Now, they both look very similar. However, where the X3 starts to pull away is when you talk about this thing called Me mode. Basically, you just hold it out with a stick like this, and it makes it invisible, so it looks like that cool shot like a drone's following you, and you do not have to do any reframing after you shoot. You just have to hold it at the correct angle. So that is really, really cool. And I think in this category, again, has to go slightly to the Insta360 X3. However, I will note that some people have found the GoPro Max does look better in the single lens mode. Okay, so the next thing is durability. Now, I have lens covers on both of mine and screen protectors, which I think is a must-have. And I think the durability can't really be named out on one. A lot of people think the GoPro Max is a lot more durable, and it might be. However, if you put a screen protector on that big screen on the Insta360 X3, it should be fine. So I don't think that's something really to worry about. So I'd pretty much consider this to be a draw with maybe a slight advantage to the GoPro Max. Now the fourth point is ease of use. Now for me, this is the biggest deal and determines if I'm gonna use a 360 camera or not. And the Insta360 X3 has a win here. So the GoPro Max, when you're done shooting, you have to reframe. What that means is you hit a button and it says, I want the frame to go from here to here, then from here to here, then from here to here, and you can kind of go around and reframe it. However, the Insta360 X3, you can do that, or you can do tracking modes. And basically what that means is you just select a box over in a subject, and then it automatically tracks them as you do whatever with the stick. It will keep them in frame, and I just think that is so cool. And the main reason I think the Insta360 X3 really has a strong win here. Also, the app has a lot more user-friendly tools and just really cool. I do like the GoPro Quick app, but I think the Insta360 does have a big win here. Now, the last thing is the most important thing about a 360 camera, and that is quality. And even if it is a pain to get footage from the GoPro Max, if it's better than the X3, then you should probably go for it. However, it's not. Okay, so here is image quality from these cameras side by side. There's a lot of background noises, also a good chance to test out the audio. It's a 360 X3 audio testing 1, 2, 3. GoPro Max audio testing 1, 2, 3. How do you think these cameras are looking and sounding? Now just pause the video right here for a second, because I just want to mention that the Insta360 X3 is not in HDR mode, and the GoPro Max has this absolutely terrible stitch line here. So just a couple things I wanted to point out. Back to the video. Now when we're talking about image quality, it gets really controversial. Personally, I think the Insta360 X3 has the win here with having bigger sensors, and the image just looks a lot better to me. However, some people might prefer the GoPro Max better, but I think in general, the Insta360 X3 has another win. Now, with all of this being said, you're probably like, well, what's the price? And they're about the same, surprisingly. So it really does not make any sense to get the GoPro Max. There's not any really advantage to it. Maybe a very slim, narrow, select people should get the GoPro Max, but I think for the 99% of people, they should definitely get the Insta360 X3. I think it's the better of the two, and overall, I think it wins this comparison. Now, if you want to see why I did get this GoPro Max, then you can hit this video here, and I will see you there.